Since I first began selling on Amazon in 2018, I've literally seen hundreds of people looking to follow the same path as me by creating their own businesses, starting to look for a product to sell, and then placing an order with a supplier. But within a matter of months, they've had a change of heart, closed the business down, and accepted failure. Failing with Amazon FBA doesn't happen for no reason at all. And in fact, over the past 4 years, I've come to realize that in reality, it boils down to the same 5 reasons over and over again. One of the most common reasons that I see people's Amazon FBA businesses failing is because they don't take the process of finding a product to sell seriously at all. What typically happens is people learn about Amazon FBA, they get all excited about how much money they're going to be making by selling their own products online, and they rush to buy the first thing that they can think of without properly checking if it makes sense to sell in the first place. They're viewing Amazon FBA as a get-rich-quick scheme when it's not. Whilst it certainly can make you get rich quicker than not starting a business at all, in reality, it's no different to any other business out there, and each step of the process needs to be carried out carefully and thoughtfully. So when considering any product to sell with Amazon FBA, before you get too excited and start looking at which Lambo model you're going to be putting a deposit down for, always check that the product is going to be suitable to sell on Amazon. So it's got sufficient demand, it's profitable to sell, and there's an opportunity for you to differentiate. And the great thing is, all of these key checks can be verified long before you've even paid a cent to any supplier. And you can do all that with the use of a tool by Helium 10. If you've ever shown the slightest bit of interest in making money online, then chances are that you've seen your fair share of ads on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok that all show how much cash you can make with Amazon FBA. Now, unfortunately, many of these ads are being pushed by people that have never made a penny selling on Amazon, and they just want you to join their courses. So in order to entice you into signing up, they throw huge numbers out in their ads telling you how you can make millions by doing and investing very small amounts. This acts as a poisoned chalice because whilst it does get people interested in selling their own products with Amazon FBA, they join with entirely unrealistic expectations. And when doing their product research, they start looking for products that are going to make them at least £50,000 per month. Now, whilst the type of products that earn that amount and even more, they do exist, there's 2 problems here. The first is that those type of products are incredibly competitive to sell in, which means that the profit margin and the ability to differentiate is likely to be very low. And the second is that the amount of investment that you're going to need in order to play in that niche is going to be very high, likely to be at least £10,000 or more. Because of this, that person that's looking for a very high earning product has set themselves a task that's going to be near on impossible to complete. And that ultimately results in them declaring that Amazon is saturated before closing their business down and giving up. So to avoid this common reason for failure, my advice is set an earnings goal that is realistic and requires a sensible investment amount. There's no use in looking for a product that sells 5,000 units a month if you can only afford to buy 200 units at a time. So take a look at how much money you've got to invest. Think about the minimum amount of additional earnings that would make selling on Amazon worthwhile, and then start looking for a product that fits that criteria. When I first started thinking about selling on Amazon, all I wanted was an additional £1,000 per month to help me pay the mortgage. And because I started off with a sensible earnings goal, I was able to quickly find an affordable product in a low competition niche without getting demotivated or wasting lots of time. Once you've found a product that you want to sell on Amazon, the next step is to find a supplier, and not just any supplier, but one that is trustworthy, communicative, and above all, able to provide you with a high quality product. In order to keep profits as high as possible, you may be tempted to ignore all of those and just go with the cheapest option available. But this is a big mistake, and it's one of the worst decisions that you can make if you want to ensure that your business isn't going to fail. The cheapest suppliers are often able to be so cheap because they cut corners, and ultimately they provide you with a poor quality product that doesn't last long or even work at all. And the result of supplying customers with this type of product is going to be refund requests, negative reviews, and stock that won't sell, and ultimately a business that fails. When looking for a supplier for your product, of course the cost price and how much profit you make is going to play a factor in who you decide to go with, but don't let it be the only factor. Make sure that you message the supplier frequently so that you can get a feel for how responsive they are and how good their English is. And above all, order samples from at least 2 different manufacturers so that you can test the product's quality and then determine whether a customer is likely to be happy with their purchase. Choosing the private label Amazon FBA selling strategy involves you creating an offer with a brand that you build. Now, building a brand doesn't mean that you just stick a logo that you've had made for a $5 on the product. Instead, it requires you to create a consistent story about the product and your business, one that entices the customer to buy from you because they view your offer as higher quality, differentiated, and more deserving of their cash. This is probably one of the biggest reasons that people's private label products don't end up succeeding, because their branding is poor, it looks unprofessional, and it doesn't resonate with the customer or give them a good enough reason to buy. Now, a good example of what effect a strong brand can do is with Chili's water bottles. If you look through their listing and at their product, you'll see that they've not just stuck a random logo on the images and hope for the best. They've told a story, they've got a consistent theme throughout all of their listings and on their packaging, and they just come across as a company that offers premium products. The reality is though, that this bottle here that's selling for around 20 quid, that is no different to this one here that sells for around half of that. Yet customers continue to purchase the more expensive and branded version because they view the Chili's brand as being more premium and worthy of their money. So when putting your product offer together, don't be tempted to just get a cheaply designed logo made and then think that that will sway customers to buy from you. Make sure that every single aspect of your offer, it tells a compelling story that resonates with the customer and convinces them that you are a premium quality brand that is most deserving of their cash. And if you can afford it, get your brand trademarked so that you can benefit from Amazon's brand registry. That's going to allow you to sell the benefits of your product using video ads and using way more images within your listing. And you'll also get protection from anybody that tries to copy your offer. Selling your own products with Amazon FBA is not hard, provided that you know what you're doing. There is a huge amount to learn with Amazon FBA, and unfortunately, with this type of business model, if you get something wrong or you don't execute a step well enough, then that could prove to be a very costly mistake that spells the end of your business. People underestimate the level of knowledge required to get a profitable Amazon business up and running, and because of that, they'll skip steps that they don't even know exist. They'll take shortcuts and generally set themselves up for failure despite having the best intentions. Over the past 4 years, I've literally seen hundreds of people determined to give themselves an additional income stream using Amazon FBA, and they end up giving up and failing before they've even started because they don't have the right knowledge or guidance to do things properly. Take this example here. This guy did my webinar training a few years back, sat on the sidelines for a few years, picking up knowledge by watching random YouTube videos, and then finally decided to get started this week by creating an Amazon account. But he didn't know what he was doing, he filled out the wrong information, got frustrated with the process because Amazon rejected him, and He gave up. All of that time and energy completely wasted over a very small mistake that he could have done correctly if he had the right guidance. So if you want to start Amazon FBA and create a business that gives you an additional income stream, take it seriously and invest in yourself and your education. Learn from others' successes and failures and do things the right way the first time around without risking you making a poor decision that destroys your chances of success. Over the past few years, I've coached hundreds of people on how to sell with Amazon FBA, and there is no doubt in my mind that I've given people the right guidance and education on how to sell with Amazon, and because of that, I've saved them thousands in costly mistakes. If you'd like to be coached and mentored by me, then check out the Smashers Academy. It's a beginner to advanced training scheme that teaches you exactly how to sell on Amazon in a clear and concise way so that you don't give up and fail before you've even started. And there's a link for that in the description below this video. So that is it for this week's video. I hope that you have learned from it, and I hope that it stops you guys from making mistakes and failing too. Remember to smash that subscribe button for more Amazon FBA related content, and I'll see you guys next time.